Hello, I am testing the mic. I am testing the sound and the camera. Oh, and I gotta get rid of the cat. She can join, but all good, says Igor. Okay, so here we go. No, take the cat away. No, take the cat away. Come on. Take the cat away.
He wants to do yoga.
No. Yes, follow him out. Close the door. All right, so what happened today was at 3 o'clock, I was prepared. I was on, I was focused, and I taught a wonderful class. And you know what? I had forgotten to switch on the mic, or rather, I switched on the mic, I thought, but I actually switched it off. So all that teaching, that mindfulness talk, was just for me. And maybe it was exactly what I needed. Who knows? So, if at first you don't succeed, you try and you try again. Calmly. So I will try to remain calm, even though I feel a little bit giggly. I will continue with the same theme. We're going to do a very relaxing, breathy class. I would suggest, if you have tight clothing on, that you strip off and put on your pajamas. I would suggest that you have strap, belt, scarf, something, pillow, or a bolster, and a blanket, something to warm you or to serve as a seat, as it is doing for me. Okay, let's go. Once more. So, we're going to relax. We are going to breathe. We are going to do what would fall into the scope of what they refer to as a restorative session. Let's see if we can restore. Let's start with a little bit of meditation. If nothing else for me. Place yourself in such a way, construct a seat that feels very, very comfortable. You want to relate to gravity with the weight of your legs and the weight of your pelvis. You want to feel that that seat in no way hinders you from lengthening the spine in a comfortable manner without you having to hold onto your rib cage with your muscles or muscle it up in the spine. So effortless alignment. And that has pretty much all to do with how you place the pelvis. Got it? Okay. Then from there, feel the head like a helium balloon floating upwards, lengthening through the neck. Relax your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Rotate your arms externally like so, and then just take the lower portion of the arm and rotate back internally, and then place. Close your eyes. Relax your belly. The relaxation of your belly, of your abdominal wall, will allow you to start relaxing the diaphragm. The relaxation of the diaphragm makes the breath feel more at home, makes it feel more comfortable, makes your posture feel more comfortable. Now this endeavor of relaxing the belly and relaxing the diaphragm, it is continuous. We have very strong habitual patterns of holding in, contracting, strangling. So we want to be consistent with our effort, kind but intensive effort to change that habit pattern of holding, strangling, hardening. As we continue to relax the belly, to relax our diaphragm, as we continue to feel the weight of our legs, of our pelvis to sink down towards our seat. Feel that effortless lengthening of the spine and the floating sensation of our head space. We draw the attention more exclusively towards our breathing. We have already accommodated for the breath to feel uh, quite generous by the relaxation of abdomen and diaphragm. And now we zoom in on that breath. You want to cultivate a very alert sense of attentiveness, almost a vigilant sense of attentiveness around that breath, as though you were the guardian of that breath. Noticing every nuance, every detail, noticing the uniqueness of every individual breath, sharpening the mind, cultivating that alert, attentive awareness. For those of you that are new to meditation, or for those of you that are struggling with a bit of restlessness, a fidgety mind at the moment, then this exclusive alert attentiveness around the breath will serve you very well. So keep with it. For those of you with much experience with meditation, or if your mind is very calm, then also let it encompass how you're feeling, the physical sensations in your body. It takes a bit of practice, correction. It takes a lot of practice to hold these different elements with the same hand of awareness, to spread that alert guardianship over the whole life form. But that really trains your mind, sharpens it, and simultaneously calms it down. When the mind disappears, when the mind escapes, when the mind becomes drowsy, gently but firmly bring it back. Over and over and over. That willfulness, that stubbornness of the mind to keep at the task that will serve you so well as a tool. Now, that willfulness, that stubbornness of mind, it very often comes with a tail of some sort of expectation. See if you can cut off that tail and operate with equanimity as you're cultivating awareness, attentiveness. So when the mind disappears and we bring it back, we try not to go too deep into the judgment. When it does so over and over and over, we try to be forgiving towards our own expectations, simultaneously cultivating awareness and equanimity, balance. And now let's take that mind and direct this attentiveness, this awareness of mind, instead of to observation, towards the scope of creation. Let's create a breath that feels supportive, a breath that feels caring, a breath that feels steady and kind. Start with your exhales and let them go on for a little bit longer. See if you can rest for a bit in the pause that occurs. And then as you commence your inhale, see if you can curb some of that hunger when you have emptied. That first gulp that you feel instinctively drawn towards, and instead see if you can slow down the initiation, the beginning of that inhale. And then let the breath slowly, slowly spread in your abdomen, spread in your rib cage. Widen your diaphragm. Let that diaphragm sink slightly. As you are exploring the possibilities, the potential for that deepening of the breath, be very patient. Once again, see if you can curb some of that hunger or ambition or expectation. And just slowly, gradually let the breath take more space, become a little bigger, a little deeper. See if you can direct it further down towards your hips, towards your groin, towards your lower back, your lower abdomen, feeling the whole space of that torso filling up, inflating like a balloon. And then at the top, hover a little bit before curving that edge, letting the breath slowly, slowly come back out. And as it does, relax. The exhale carries inherently this invitation towards relaxation, where we feel compelled to drop our shoulders, to soften our face, to relax the belly, to kind of drop our masks. Some of you will find this expanding of the breath, this exploring of the potential of the breath to be assisted by that slight ujjayi sound at the base of your throat. Some of you will find it easier or more simple maybe to just stay with no technique and just work with the control of the diaphragm. Whatever feels useful, maybe a little combination of the both as we proceed into practice. Regardless of ujjayi or non-ujjayi, you want the quality of that breath to be at the focus of your creative endeavor. You want to create that breath that feels so supportive, so steadying, so familiar, calming, caring. And then just drop the weight of your head forward. Feel the weight of your skull dropping down. Let it give in to the pull of gravity. Try not to lose that uprightness of the spine. So there's still that floaty, effortless lengthening of the spine, and it's just that little curvature, that nod from your head, from your skull, provoking the opening sensations in the base of the skull and in the whole neck, maybe even in your shoulders. Tell your body to relax. Use the exhale as a teacher and use the ground, use gravity as a partner. The sensations that appear in the base of the neck, they will change, they will shift, possibly, probably mild, and just give it time. Don't push, don't force. Just observe how it changes, how it shifts. You want to maintain that calm breath because whenever we enter into a position, a situation, however mild, the sensations that are provoked, that are triggered, well, they can bring about that little seed of reactivity that creates tension, almost like a little stress inside. So we stay with our breathing, with our partner in gravity, and that elegance of time. Then from here, just roll your head towards the right shoulder. Find an angle that works for you. Heavy head. Now relax your mouth and relax your jaw so there's no tension. Maybe give a little tug to the opposite shoulder, bring it slightly down as though it had some weight on it. Feels kind of chewy to me. I carry a lot of tension in my shoulders, so I just give it time. Then we roll through center, and we come to the other side, leaning down, finding an angle. And because we are because we are asymmetrical, maybe the angle on the other side is a little different. It's okay. Stay leaning. I'm gonna get some water. Then slowly roll back center. Extend your feet a little forward so you come to a butterfly Baddha Konasana position. Soles of the feet together. No muscular energy today. We want, however, to establish a sound alignment of our pelvis. So we pay some attention to it. You want to feel both sit bones sinking down with equal weight. You want to feel both butt cheeks kind of spreading out on the ground. And even if it means one knee comes up a little bit, maybe then you want a pillow to support that knee so you feel comfortable in the hips. And then we lean into it, lean forward. As you are leaning into it, as you are leaning forward, the minute you feel that tug of reactivity in the body, the first touch that mind has with a sensation that is not so pleasant, stop there. Instead of trying to push through, stop right at the beginning of that sensation. Relax your belly, relax your diaphragm. Let the weight of your head sink down, cooperate with gravity. Find your breath. Calm down your breath. Now the calming of the breath, it will speak to your nervous system in such a way that the nervous system will allow you to relax gradually. The calming of the breath will signal to your nervous system that there's no danger, there's no threat, and then your muscles can soften, even though there's a bit of pain, a bit of not so pleasant sensation. And then use that breath and see if you can stretch out the area or care for the area or energize the area where you feel that not so pleasant sensation. Now I look at it as the breath carrying the intention of the mind towards that part of the body, like a translator or a diplomat that communicates between mind and body. Now you want to inject into every single inhale as it works with those less than comfortable sensations. You want to inject it with a sense of friendliness, of kindness, of care, or of empathy. You will find that when the breath communicates that intention of mind towards your pain, it's not like the pain goes. No, it may stay the same, but that little layer of reactivity, you are suffering from the pain, that starts to dissipate. And when it dissipates, then that pain becomes bearable. It becomes breathable. Then slowly, slowly withdraw. Walk your hands back. Raise your spine up. And then let's lay down. Come down to the ground. Bend your knees. Wrap your arms around and maybe interlace your fingers. And then surrender the weight of your spine, of your neck, of your skull, of your ribs, of your pelvis to your partner. The breath continues to show you the way there. Every time you exhale, there's another layer of tension that becomes a little softer, that starts relaxing. And then you can almost get that melting sensation as your spine, as the upper back, as the pelvis gives in to gravity, is being held, carried by gravity. I always talk about the jaw, like most of you know, but it's important. Relax your jaw. How many of us don't have bite guards since a long time ago? How many of us don't bite our teeth every time that we have to straighten up, sharpen up, do what we have to do, all that. Now, the result of that continuous charge in our jaw, it of course leads to tension in our neck, tension in our shoulders. So when you get a chance, not just on your mat, but in your everyday life, separate the back of your teeth, get into like a little fish mouth, and let the jaw drop. And now when we lay down on the ground, really feel that pull of gravity and how you can allow the lower portion of the jaw to sink down towards the base of the skull, and that feels wonderful where the skull meets the neck. And it almost contagious the neck and your shoulders to also release. Some of you may feel your lower back, even though it's not a strong position. Aging, injuries, happenings, life can make your lower back hurt, can make your hips ache. Notice the ache, notice the placement of that less than comfortable sensation. Also notice before you go in and let your breath treat the area, notice what your instinctual, almost gut response to it is. In this game of self-improvement, we're very quick to bypass that moment of brutal honesty. And we say, yeah, my jaws are locked. I'm going to, open. But I find it interesting to get to that moment when you notice or you feel it, the pain, the less than comfortable sensation, and you also feel that instinctual response of hardening, holding, tensing, shrinking. It's your reactivity, your habit. If you are ever to change it or modify it so it doesn't hurt you so much, get to know it well first. See if you can develop that sense of equanimity around your own reactivity as well. From here, let's once again dive into our hips. We place the soles of the feet on the ground and then we open our knees to the sides. Prop yourself up with pillows, with support if you need. Place your arms in such a way that you feel you can widen the whole upper back on the ground. Same procedure. Mind's presence. Trying to sustain our awareness in and around the breath, in and around the feelings in our body, in and around the relationship between the breath and the body and the input of the mind. I like how Igor puts it, that it's very interesting to study phenomena in terms of relationships. In the end, that's what we do with our yoga. We look at the relationship between this and that, between pleasure and pain, craving and aversion. And that is also how we connect with our own innate creativity, our say in how our life is experienced. If we lay here and we meet the pain in our hips with continuous resistance, well, then our experience would be one of resistance. If we meet the pain that arises with a sense of caring, then yes, we will feel the pain, but we will also have an experience of deep care. To realize the potential of the breath to stretch you out, to energize and to open areas on the inside. Well, that's, I think, is one of those yoga revelations that is priceless to me. The power of the breath, the impact of the breath, the beauty of creativity that the breath offers. And then in these restorative sessions, when we give ourselves a very, very generous time scope in each individual posture, then that experience, that experiential understanding of impermanence is another one of those priceless gems that the practice offers. Because we can feel, even if nothing changes on the outside, our experience, our life keeps changing all the time. Because we feel it. And then from here, let's slowly, slowly bring our knees in, bring our knees up. Maybe give a little gentle yin-like movement to your pelvis, to your hips, to your knees, to your ankles. And then reach around and find your strapped scarf belt. Reach your legs up towards the ceiling and then wrap that scarf belt strap around your metatarsal. Place your hands at an arm length distance and with an exhale, sink down towards the ground and feel the head of the bones of the legs of the arms give in to the pull of gravity, settling deep into the pocket of their respective joint. And as they sink, feel the response of the connective tissue in said joint, how it's able to relax, and how incredibly comfortable that feels. Remember your jaw. Remember the sensation of weight as gravity claims the density of your bones, of your shoulder blades, of your pelvis, of your spine, of your skull, of that jaw. And then keep maybe working with a big breath, sweeping like a wave through the length of the torso, landing in the hips, offering that bit of massage-like treatment to your hip joints. The exhale, grounding you even deeper, creating an even more close relationship to the ground, the gravity. Or, if you've done this for a while and restorative is no news to you, then perhaps work only with the presence of mind, without that big sweeping breath. For those of you that don't suffer from very strong, gross sensations of ache and pain, a lot of history accumulated in an area where sensation is more subtle, like it has become for me after all these years, then it's wonderful to work just with the presence of mind in that area, looking for a sense of subtlety in the sharpness of your awareness, subtlety of sensation. And then, with that same mind, observe what the presence of mind alone, what effect that has on your body. In my experience, can be equally powerful or even more so when mind learns to be very steady, very vigilant, and at the same time deeply caring. Then we let this grip go. We are going to roll over onto our side and come up sitting very briefly, I promise. We grab hold of our bolster, or in my case, the IKEA version of a tempura pillow, which is nice and firm. And folding it up into a little bolster and then placing it right where you feel that you need it. If we're talking heart opener, chest opener, maybe if you want the double whammy, you can also move the soles of the feet together. Let your knees drop. I think one of the reasons why I like so much the parallel between equanimity and relaxation is because it makes relaxation a very serious endeavor, almost like a technique. I guess the word has a little bit of a holidayish rep. Yeah, we think of relaxation and maybe we think more of like an umbrella drink in a pool-like scenario. But this relaxation in this context is very profoundly informative and deeply healing. Right here, when we open our chest, our heart, the space here in the solar plexus where there's so much nerve activity, it's like a storage facility for anxiety, nervousness, insecurity. Here I would find it useful to work with a deeper, more creative breath, making sure that the breath still moves down below the diaphragm, that you feel how the diaphragm moves, how it widens, spreads that rib cage open. But also because of the nature of the posture, maybe allow the breath to come a little higher up, so you feel how it clears out some of the tension around the heart. And then as you exhale, feel the weight of the bones of your rib cage, of your shoulder blades sinking down towards the pillow, and all the tissues soft and relaxed. Dive down. And it becomes a very gradual heart opener. A mild but very deep opener. Remember your jaw. weight of the skull, weight of your hips. From here, we place the soles of the feet on the ground. We push those soles of the feet down and we lift up our pelvis. We lift up until we can slide that pillow bolster down towards our butt. Extend your legs. Let the front of the hip come up a little higher. Feel the weight of your bones, limbs, skull, spine. Giving into your power, giving into breath. Now both of these type of openers, the chest opener and especially the front of the hip or the groin opener, they are highly emotional or psychological. We feel fragile, we feel vulnerable, we feel perhaps the trace of trauma, heartbreak, aggression, scars. Now those are not bad feelings. They're naked feelings. They make us feel almost see-through. So we're not trying to change them in any way, but instead we work with our mind and our breath and the ground and relaxation to take the edge off of the discomfort that we feel towards our own vulnerability. For it is, of course, the discomfort that makes us uncomfortable, not the fragility itself. And that part of keeping a very friendly, unconditionally friendly, generous, caring mind, that helps. Just that intention itself, it helps to peel off some of the walls we have around those soft emotions. Then bring your feet to the ground, close to your hips, lift your butt up, and just slide your bolster pillow out from underneath. Roll over onto either side, and we come up sitting. Take your blanket, your pillow, your seat. Come back to where we started. Heavy legs, heavy hips, A pelvis that is placed in such a way that you feel the head of the femur bones coming in deeply into the pocket of that joint. That depth of meeting enables the hip flexor to relax, your psoas to relax, which enables you to lengthen the spine without hardening your belly, engaging your muscles. Effortless alignment of the spine as though it's just floating there at the center. Externally rotated arms, placing our hands, keeping our chest wide. Long neck, that floating sensation from the headspace. Heavy shoulders, relax your face. By now the diaphragm should be fairly relaxed. The body should feel fairly comfortable after all this grounding kind work. So breathing should feel easy. Now I'm going to take you through a little breath bath. If my rhythm doesn't suit you, switch off the sound or switch off your YouTube and do your own pranayama, your own version of breath. If you can't find a very comfortable position for whatever reason, maybe take it laying down. Maybe now it's useful to have that ujjayi breath, a little narrowing. The control center. If you want to stay with my lead breath, and wherever you are in your breath right now, exhale. Together we inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe take one last deep inhale. All the way in, spreading out, opening. And then when you exhale, like a sigh through your mouth, emptying completely. We don't let that creative breath come to an abrupt halt. We instead feel like repeating it down slowly, slowly, allowing that ujjayi to dissipate, releasing the control over our breathing, allowing it to be wherever, however, observing it without judgment, without expectations. Steady mind. Now either stay here within the framework of sitting meditation or lay down in savasana. Whichever position you wish to finish in, relax your body, soften your body. If you're laying down, let the body melt, spread like butter. But keep that sense of alert attentiveness in your mind, presence. observe life as it is experienced inside of you. If you have the space and the time to stay, then do so. It's wonderful to practice a little bit longer. I will switch off my camera now. I hope you feel relaxed. I hope you feel centered. And I hope you feel well, regardless of circumstance. I hope you feel well.